start this video off by asking you all a question. What's the scariest urban legend from your area? Let me know in the comments below. Here in Toronto, there's a scary urban legend about a tunnel monster that's basically like a scary, hairy beast that lurks the sewers underneath the city. Thankfully, it's just a legend and it's not real. However, there are tons of scary legends out there that have turned out to be real. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the top 10 famous urban legends that came to life, part 5. Yeah, this is part 5, so make sure to check out the other 4 parts. Starting off this countdown, we have Death by a Wedgie. Shows depicting middle school made it seem like they were going to be filled with big bullies that will harass you for your lunch money and then give you massive wedgies. And for those of you that have gotten a wedgie, you know that it's quite unpleasant, but not something that could take your life, right? Well, wrong. Of course, there's the urban legend about the kid who died after being wedgied so badly that the underwear got caught in his intestine. Although this didn't happen, there's a case where a man did die after receiving a wedgie. Back in 2013 in Oklahoma, a 35-year-old man gave his stepdad a wedgie. That resulted in his death. During a fight, he pulled his stepdad's elastic underwear band over his head. It actually got wrapped around his neck and ended up strangling him to death. The son was then charged with first-degree manslaughter. That's a very unfortunate way to go. Moving on to number 9, we have death by farts. So we all know that tooting is a natural bodily function, but is it a deadly one too? There are several different urban legends surrounding this. You have the legend about the boyfriend who apparently passed away after holding in his toots while hanging out with his girlfriend. Then you have the legend about the man who passed away in his sleep after tooting a bunch. Apparently he slept in a poorly ventilated room and his gas ended up poisoning him. But these are both just fake stories. But the real story was featured in an episode of 1,000 Ways to Die. This show recreates supposed deaths, so they claim the story is real, but who knows. Anyway, apparently 2 friends were fooling around one day. One of the friends took a lighter and held it near the other friend's behind while the other dude passed gas. It ended up causing a big flame and set his friend on fire. His friend ended up passing away after being burned alive. Coming in at number 8, we have the Halloween decorations. So in one of my past urban legend videos, I talked about a real dead body that was hung in an amusement park's funhouse. Days went by and no one knew that this prop was indeed real. Well, there's another case just like this, except this time it involves Halloween decorations. So legend goes that one time a kid was out trick-or-treating. He saw a very realistic body prop on someone's lawn and started kicking it. Turns out that this person was real and had died. Well, this legend indeed came to life. On October 26, 2005, a 42-year-old woman hung herself off of a tree in her neighborhood. The body remained there for days as onlookers thought it was just a Halloween decoration or a Halloween prank. Eventually, police were called and they were horrified to discover that the decoration was real. In our 7th spot, we have the cell phones. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the signs near the gas stations that say, do not smoke, do not leave your engine running, and lastly, do not use your cell phone. Now, why can't we use our cell phone at a gas station? So it's said that if you use your cell phone around a gas station that it will cause the gas pump to explode. Now, people think that this is just an urban legend and that using their cell phones around one is just completely harmless. Well, think again. On May 17, 2004, a college student was fueling their car when he answered a call. Immediately, he was surrounded by flames. Thankfully, he only received minor burns, but his cell phone was completely destroyed. It's said that his cell phone ignited the gas fumes emitted from the pump, causing the incident. There you have it. Phones are deadly. And at number 6, we have Santa Claus. So there's an urban legend out there about a dad that dressed up as Santa Claus and decided to climb down the chimney in order to surprise his kids. However, he got stuck halfway through and ended up passing away. Scarily enough, this has happened. There are numerous cases about people dying from being stuck in chimneys. In 1986 in Florida, a burglar tried to enter a family's home via the chimney to try and rob the home. However, he got stuck halfway through. He tried screaming for help, but the neighbors just dismissed it. A couple of days later, the owners returned home and found their house smelling like rotten flesh. from the robber's body decaying in the fireplace. Then in 2015 in California, another burglar tried to enter a home through the chimney. However, the owner of the house ended up lighting a fire and the robber died from the heat and smoke. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the laughing attack. So how about the urban legend that laughter kills? According to this legend, laughing too hard can cause your spleen and other organs in your body to just explode and kill you. Well, that might just be a legend, but there are multiple reported cases of people that have died from laughing too hard. In 1975, a man named Alex Mitchell was watching an episode of a show called The Goodies. He found one scene incredibly funny and he ended up laughing for about a half an hour straight before he ended up passing away. His wife was just happy that his last few moments were positive. Moving on to number 4, we have the invisible guest. So what would you do if you found out that you weren't actually living alone, but you had someone living in your attic? First off, I'd be mad that they weren't paying rent, and second, that'd be pretty scary. Well, this next urban legend is about a man who lives alone, but starts to notice objects around his house disappearing. He would also hear footsteps above him. When he searched his attic, he found that a man was living there. Well, this exact same thing happened to a man in Japan. He was living alone when he discovered that his food was mysteriously disappearing. He thought that he was a victim of several robberies. He then installed several security cameras and discovered that a homeless woman was living in his closet. Apparently, she had been living there for a full year before he noticed. Coming in at number 3, we have the popped out eyeballs. Have any of you tried to keep your eyes open when you sneeze? Some say that it's impossible. Others say that it can be harmful. Legend has it that if you keep your eyes open when you sneeze, the force of your sneeze will cause your eyeballs to pop right out of their socket. Although scientists say that this is impossible, it has happened to one man. A 44-year-old man called the EMS after he sneezed, claiming that one of his eyes had popped out. When the EMS arrived, the man's right eye was swollen and in pain. Turns out that the man had pre-existing health conditions and he had a bunch of trapped air and built up pressure behind his right eye. So when he sneezed, it caused his eye to protrude. In our second spot, we have the objects in the eye. Basically, this urban legend is about a woman who thinks she just sees floaters in her eye, but turns out she actually just had a bunch of contact lenses lost in her eye that were floating around. Well, this is not an urban legend. It is 100% a real story. Back in 2017, a 67-year-old woman was having trouble seeing, suffered from discomfort in her eyes, and would often see floaters in her eyes. Now, floaters in the eyes are normal. They're the grayish looking spots that some people might see, and they aren't dangerous. A lot of people experience them. But in this woman's case, they were not floaters. When she went in for cataract surgery, doctors found 27 contact lenses stuck in the eye of this woman. 17 of which were stuck together and formed this large mass. Then they found 10 more. Doctors claimed that this was possible because she had deep-set eyes, most of which were found lodged high up underneath her eyelid. Oh, it's gonna make my eyes water. Although they don't know how long these contacts were in her eyes for, she was using disposable lenses for about 35 years. So it could have been in her eye for years. And in our number 1 spot, we have the phone charger. I don't know about you, but I was always scared about this next urban legend. Back in the day when I had a BlackBerry, I was told to never use your phone while it was charging. It was said that if you receive a phone call when your phone is charging, it could cause your whole phone and wall socket to explode, or it could give you a deadly electric shock. And this has indeed happened before. In July of 2013, a woman in China named Ma Alan was using her iPhone 4 while it was charging. She answered her phone, and before she knew it, it administered a deadly electric shock that took her life. Turns out that she was using a third-party charger and not a proper Apple charger. Police say that the faulty charger was the result of the electrocution. The police then released a statement warning individuals not to make calls when their phone is charging. Okay, so I have definitely done that before, but I will no longer be doing it. And that's all for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shout-out portion. I'll be shouting out more comments from my video, Top 10 Scary Times Peppa Pig Ruin Your Childhood, Part 2. Roberta Henley commented, "Hey Lindsay, my favorite Disney movies are Inside Out, Tangled, The Princess and the Frog, and Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet." Wow, that's a pretty good list. I love Tangled. The horse kills me. He's my favorite character. He's funny. He's like, like, just hilarious. Shane Robinson commented, "Hi Lindsay, nice to see you settled into most amazing top 10. Please, could you give my daughter a shout out, Mia Rose. She's the one who got my wife and I into amazing top 10 and she's only 8, LOL." Hey Mia Rose, thank you so much for getting your parents hooked on our videos. But she's 8? That's pretty young to be watching some of our scary theory videos. I don't want to ruin her childhood show and I don't want to spook her. The Gaming Frog commented, "I like potatoes!" Me too. Me too. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see you.